success in accomplishing any kind of project relates to what businesses call soft skills. These are the kinds of skills that are personal attributes: self-confidence, self-esteem, goal setting, problem solving, character, as Jim mentioned, and something we call mindset. And so the same attributes that I mentioned are also desired by the vice presidents and the business leaders that were participating in a leadership council I set up for our cybersecurity program at the community college where I worked. The council suggested some additional attributes: teamwork, oral communication, work ethic. They told us that they hire technical people for their technical skills, but they end up firing those same people for a lack of soft skills. They told us that they can teach technical skills, but not the soft skills that are required to succeed. I found the same thing when I had my first career in the federal government. I worked in several different organizations and retired as a division director for information technology and a part of the FDA. We had 3,000 people nationwide. And in terms of challenges, and I guess I could toot my own horn, I was the first woman division director that organization had at that time, when women were not very, we didn't populate the ranks very well. So in the comments that I made earlier, I referred to the word mindset, which again is part of the introduction to this talk. Mindset, different from an attribute, it influences how we view our challenges and how we view our personal capabilities. And the compelling thing about mindset is that it influences us from a very young child. Throughout our childhood, throughout our adult life, how we view things affects whether we're successful in the things that we're trying to achieve. One of the reasons, as Bob mentioned earlier, I wanted to focus on kids is because if we could learn the skills needed, the soft skills needed as adults, if we could learn to manage our mindset, we could be much more successful and enjoy our lives, avoid the challenges and disappointments that we also face. Okay. So it's really important, I believe, to begin to understand what mindset means and how we can better manage the challenges that we face in life. When teaching as an instructor in information technology and also ethics related to information technology, I used as an icebreaker in the beginning of a semester a video on mindset, and which also introduces the research done by Carol Dweck. Now, this was IT, but it affects the future work of the people in the IT field. And I thought it was very important, both for success in the classroom and also for the future. One of the students said she really felt a connection to Carol Dweck's statement. Carol Dweck once made the statement that the belief that you have to have, that if you have the ability, you shouldn't have to make an effort. She said that's one of the worst beliefs that there possibly could be. Another student had the same kind of, concurred with the same type of meaning. She said, it seems to me that I have a fixed mindset when solving problems by myself. When solving problems alone, I often get frustrated because I think that I should be able to complete tasks with little effort. Lots of students feel that way. Lots of students feel that if they don't have, or if they do have the intelligence, that they should be able to do things easily. I used to tell students in their first semester that if you had it too easy in high school, you might not be up for the challenge. And I really believe that. So mindset affects not only our thoughts about ourselves, you know, the chatter that runs in our mind, but it affects our thoughts about others too. So part of what I'm doing since I've retired as Bob has mentioned, and I retired from my second career at the college, is working with adults to explore the kinds of challenges that they find that have impact on their lives. And sometimes those challenges relates to their relationships. Sometimes it's changes in phasing from one transition of phase of their life to another. And sometimes it's new skills that they want to develop in personal and business ventures when they have to get that balance of effort and desire. So I'm also at the same time working with children to help them learn to develop mindset. And this is interesting because the children learn how their brain works. Mindset skills allow them to recognize their self-talk, the positive and the negative thoughts that go through their minds. And they have to realize that that self-talk is part of a running critique that their mind does of all of the things that are happening in their lives. I work with the kids so that they can reinforce their own learning to be their own best friend, showing confidence, showing self-esteem, dealing with bullies, a big problem today, and setting goals. Can you imagine a 6-year-old understanding neural networks? Understanding that understanding that if you haven't done something before, you don't have the neural networks or pathways for it. One of the things that happens with young kids when they're learning new things is they feel really nervous and anxious, and they're afraid to try new things. Without the neural pathways in their brain doesn't really know how to react to new things. It gets kind of goes on an alert, makes them nervous. So that's the nervousness, the anxiety. Okay. But can you imagine when a 6-year-old learns that it actually takes practice to develop the pathways in their brain, to develop a new comfort zone, which is going to allow them to function well in a new activity. So I learned that such skills that I believe are important, some of those skills you learn too late in life, okay? The emphasis that I want to make for young children is that the earlier that they can learn to manage their own mindset, the more success they'll have in accomplishing their goals and their relationships. And such skills can help accomplishing not only the goals that relate to their values, their family, their jobs, and their hobbies as adults as well as children. So today I want to reinforce that my point is learning how to manage how your mind views events in a world ultimately leads to success in business. So our thoughts create our view of the situation. Our thoughts represent our mindset. Are we afraid to try? Are we afraid to fail? Do we have what I refer to or what's referred to as a fixed mindset? Or are we open to challenges? Do we feel that we believe, do we believe that we learn throughout our lives? Do we believe that we learn from experience, from trying, from reassessing each step as it's taken? Okay, so this is a view at what's referred to as two mind sets as described by Carol Dweck and as demonstrated in research she did with children. Okay, if you're looking at the blue, the fixed mindset, okay, those with a fixed mindset believe, as it says, that intelligence is static, that you're born with a limited number of brain cells, and that's it. That's the deck you're dealt with. And that affects how they deal with things, how they deal with their challenges, obstacles, the effort they exert, the criticism that they're willing to accept or take as being useful in their lives, and whether they feel threatened by other people's success. Whereas on the green side, the growth mindset They believe people who have a growth mindset are open to learning new things, believe that growth can be developed, that intelligence can be developed. And this is supported by new brain research. So this leads to their desire to continue to learn and how they respond to the challenges, how they embrace it, how they persist, learn from criticism, and find lessons and inspiration from others. And in fact, these presentations are intended to allow people to get inspiration from other lessons that people have learned. Okay. So summarizing the issue related to the soft skills that are a key component, I believe, of success and how mindset affects how we view and apply our skills. An open mindset improves our chances. So, okay, how do we use that idea in the choices that we make? Okay, how do we improve the likelihood that our choices will lead us to where we want to go? Each of you that are watching the video today, or not the video, but our Zoom call and may watch the resulting video, is considering becoming an entrepreneur or has become an entrepreneur. We want to control our destiny. Who doesn't? We want to be our own boss. We know now we need an open mindset to succeed in meeting challenges. But how do we know that our choice for the business, our choice that we may have made or that we intend to make, is the right choice for us? Or how do we know our ikigai? Ikigai. So on the slide is presented a diagram that represents what the Japanese believe is ikigai, okay? How we identify what is our passion, our purpose in life. What are we trying to accomplish? What direction do we want to go? Okay, so one approach to determining what you would like to do if you're choosing a business to go into or a major choice about changing that business, changing the skills that you have, is to take a look at the diagram and use it as a framework, okay? So the objective would be to be happy and successful in your choice, what's a well-balanced combination of the characteristics that you see? Okay, what can you be passionate about? At the same time, you're good in it. You find something the world actually needs, and you get paid for. Okay, so it's the balance of those things. But in this case, we're talking about steps that improve yourself, allowing you to put your best self forward, not a procedure in a business, but thinking about yourself, what you want to work toward, what you want to develop to help your business succeed. And it's not easy. There's a quote from Carol Dweck that I like. I'll kind of try to reading it a little bit. She says, this is a change, a tremendous change, and there's going to be periods of confusion. Okay, what are you going to do when you have to become a novice over and over and over again? And you need to be comfortable with that, not just the effort that a new business creates or that starts or that's required, but the struggle and the confusion that results also. So she's saying that we need resilience. We need to be comfortable with the struggle. And this is a mindset skill that's also included in the child program that I use. Children need to be resilient, just as adults.